Hi, it's Applesandmustard, and welcome to my Draw My Life video. I was born on a hot summer day in July to my mother, who was baking cookies, and to my father, who was doing Navy things in the Navy. Ta-da! Baby apples. So it was me, my mom, and my dad. I have an older sister who's 5 years older than me, but she lived in Chicago, so I didn't see her that often. And then, as is common, my parents got divorced and I went to go live with my mom. Even though I lived with my mom, I still got to see my dad very often. My mom would drive to a city in between both of them and she would meet my dad there at a Taco Bell. And I would go to my dad's house for the weekend. And in the summers, I used to stay at his house all summer and go to camp. And we would go swimming and to the movies and play tennis and stuff. And it was fun. Growing up, I really loved school. I loved going to school every day. I loved math, and I was really good at spelling, and I loved science and playing outside, and just everything about school was so fun to me. Somewhere around this time, my mom met a guy, and they liked each other, and they got married, and we moved into his house, and now he's my stepdad. In 5th grade, we got to play an instrument, and I wanted so bad to play the drums, be a percussionist in the band, but they were like, no, you're gonna play the violin instead. So I got stuck playing the violin, and I actually played it for 4 years after that. And after elementary school, I went to a middle school, which was pretty rough, and everyone was big and on steroids and scary. But they put me in classes with other people who like to learn like me, and we just went to class together, and it wasn't that scary. And then I started to hate math, and I ended up being a cheerleader somehow, and yeah. Before I went to high school, my grandparents and Kai moved from Chicago to North Carolina to live with us, and I had like a little brother, and he used to play with Power Rangers, and we would put them in bowls of water and freeze them and then throw them off the balcony and watch them crash open, and it was so much fun. Or he would put grapes in front of the lamp and sit and wait until they turned into raisins, which never happened. And I thought that was so funny. And we just had a lot of good times together. In high school, I got into art, and I was the kid carrying around the art portfolio and doing all the artsy things. And I also started keeping journals, which I still keep to this day. And I would write down when I had bad days or when I had good days or my feelings, and they were full of teenage angst, and I just got really into them and drew pictures and magazine clippings, and it was really fun, and I'm glad I kept up with them. High school went by and I ended up running track, and then I realized I hated running, so then I quit, and then it was time to graduate. Yay, diploma. I went to college in a city that I lived in, and I went for elementary education because I loved kids and they loved me. And then I chopped all my hair off and decided to grow dreads. And then I found the internet. I was completely infatuated with all things online. I had a MySpace that I kept up with pretty decently. I learned HTML. I got Facebook back when it was only exclusive to college students. I got into instant messaging. I was even, little known fact, in a Yahoo pool league, and I log on every night and play tournaments and games and win banana bucks, which could be used to enter more tournaments, and I would build friendships off the people I used to play recurring tournaments with. And even though I was in college, I didn't go out or have friends or party or anything, so this is what I did for fun, and it worked for me. It was during one of these games that I met someone who would become a really good friend of mine. We've never met, never spoken to each other, but from that day forth, we talked every day, and that was in 2006, and we still talk to this day. He just became a really good friend of mine, and he's always been there to talk to me, and I've always been there to listen to him, and started a really good friendship through Yahoo Pool. Who would have thought? I didn't like being treated like I was still in high school when I was a college student, so I finally moved out of my house to the dorms on campus my second year of college. I had a roommate that I wasn't very close to, but I met these two lovely ladies down the hall from me, and we became friends, real life friends. And then I discovered YouTube. I started watching videos, and a lot of people's videos didn't make me laugh or I wasn't interested, so then I just wanted to make my own. I didn't have an agenda or anything like everybody else. I just started making them, and things happened. I got views, mostly because of my hair, but I built an audience, and it was amazing. YouTube became a huge part of my life, and I met so many people from it, so many friends, kept up with so many videos and people. I had fans, I guess, that would motivate me to make more videos, and I would come up with new ideas, and I love reading comments and getting views and attempts to get featured on the front page and get shout out to people and shout other people out. And it was this whole community that I had grown to love and be a part of. YouTube started a partnership program where you can make videos and get paid for it, and I did some debating on whether or not I actually wanted to do it, but I actually didn't because I was scared of YouTube sending me checks to my house because my parents didn't know I made YouTube videos, and they still don't to this day. It was kind of a failed opportunity, but whatever. I switched my major from elementary education to art education so I could take more art classes like sculpture and drawing and painting and figure drawing and concept studio, and actually realize what is art and why are we here, and ask all these art questions. And I found myself becoming an actual like art student, like with the people who used to drink PBR and wear hipster glasses and ride fixie bicycles and all that stuff. I graduated after student teaching high school students, and I vowed that I would never teach again because I didn't end up liking it. And then shortly after graduation, I got a full-time job as a teacher. I was teaching high school, and I taught for a semester, and some parts of it were cool, but it was just too much work for my lazy self, I guess, and going to meetings and following curriculums. And I taught for a semester, and then I decided I was done with that. The whole time I was teaching, I also had a part-time job on the weekends where I hosted birthday parties for kids and gave them pizza and helped them open their presents and sang happy birthday with them and cut their cake. I'm very good at cutting birthday cakes, by the way. It was fun, but it ain't pay the bills, so I kind of needed to find something else to do. It was during this time that I moved out of my house in with the two ladies that I met in college, and we got our own apartment together, and I felt a newfound sense of freedom. And I knew I needed to find a job, but I kind of didn't really want a job because I wanted a job that was going to make me happy, but how often do those come around? And just going through a crisis. And during this time, I kind of got caught up with the wrong people and started doing things I probably shouldn't have been doing, and I needed to find something else to do with my life. I always think of what would have happened if I would have kept up with YouTube and got new equipment and done better and actually made money from YouTube instead of just kind of falling off, but can't really live in the past, can you? I was part of lots of different dating websites in an attempt to find someone cool to hang out with and just have, and because I'd never been in a relationship before, and I came across this guy who messaged me, and he actually had all his teeth and used complete sentences, and we messaged back and forth and got each other's number, and he turned out to be a pretty decent guy. We went to the same school. Found out we went to the same school. We had some of the same friends. We had the same major, and we were in the same building all the time. But I had never seen him, and he had never seen me. And it was just weird how that happened and how we came across each other on a dating website. And we're still whatever we are right now. And he is the most talented, funny, motivating person that I probably have ever met and ever will meet. And he makes me happy. But I still had no clue what was up with my life and what I was supposed to be doing. And so I came up with a list of things, potential jobs that I could think of what to do, just what am I supposed to be doing, and somehow, some way, who knows, I still don't, I ended up joining the military. The United States Air Force, to be exact. To be in the military, I had to cut off all my hair that I loved so much, and I'm just now coming to the realization that I put so much self-worth into my hair, and I'm dealing with it right now because I still hate the fact that I had to cut my hair off, and it's been more than a year, but it happens. I went to Texas to go to basic training, and I graduated from basic training, and then I graduated from tech school 5 months later, And while I was in tech school, I got assigned to my first duty station, and it was in Alaska. And I was torn about it because, yeah, I did join because I wanted to see other things, but I also did not want to go to Alaska. Luckily for me, there was a guy who got assigned Georgia, and he really wanted to go to Alaska, and we got to switch duty stations. So here I am in Georgia instead. Even though Georgia is no Alaska, I am a few hours away from home, and that's what I found out I needed. And all my family lives in North Carolina just about, and the boy is there, and I can go and visit on the weekends, and that's really what means the most to me right now at this time in my life. Even though I have a job for the next 3 years or so, it is not what I want to do for the rest of my life or for a career. So I'm still in a quarter life crisis, and when I get out, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go, what I want to do, what I'm meant to do, but I guess that comes with time. I do miss YouTube, even though I'm not around that much, and it has done so much for me in terms of my personality and self-confidence and self-esteem, and I miss it every day, the old YouTube, and it holds a special place in my heart and all the other sappy stuff. Everyone who has made a Draw My Life video has said, I just really enjoy the internet, and yes, the internet can be a hobby. Contrary to popular belief, I enjoy being on the internet. It provides me with laughs and giggles and all sorts of things, information, education. I love being on the internet and discovering things and finding people and talking to people and looking at things. So there. Thank you for watching my Draw My Life. This has been Applesandmustard, aka Dark Calamari if you're nasty. Just kidding. On Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, bye.